Vous avez toujours rêvé de savoir comment était conçu le maillot d'un cycliste professionnel? Est-ce que l'on peut gagner du temps en concevant un maillot différemment? Eh bien, nous sommes ici chez Sportful en Italie, le nouveau partenaire de Tudor Pro Cycling. C'est l'équipe de Julian Alaphilippe et vous allez connaître tous les secrets de ces nouveaux maillots sur mesure que l'équipe utilise depuis le début de saison. Suivez-nous, c'est par ici. Bonjour et bienvenue sur la chaîne YouTube du cycle. Nous sommes ici en Italie, non loin des Dolomites, et nous sommes chez Sportful. La marque italienne, la marque iconique de vêtements de vélo, est partenaire désormais de Tudor Pro Cycling, l'équipe suisse dans laquelle figure notamment Julian Alaphilippe. Cette année, Sportful a collaboré avec Tudor pour développer de nouvelles combinaisons. Alors des combinaisons sur mesure, vous allez le voir, faites spécifiquement pour les coureurs de l'équipe, mais également pour des courses spécifiques, c'est-à-dire pour le contre-la-montre, pour les classiques et des combinaisons pour les autres épreuves. Nous avons rencontré Frederico Mele, qui est directeur de la marque, Frederico Pallanch, qui est chef produit pour Sportful, et également David Ogg, qui est ingénieur textile pour l'équipe Tudor Pro Cycling. Ils nous ont expliqué comment étaient fabriquées ces nouvelles combinaisons que les coureurs ont donc utilisées depuis le début de saison. Actuellement, nous sommes à quelques jours de Milan-San Remo, donc nous allons les voir, ces combinaisons sur les prochaines épreuves, et vous allez savoir dans cette vidéo, le développement continue. Ce n'est pas fini puisque ce sont toujours des éléments à l'état de prototype. Dans cette vidéo, vous allez pouvoir découvrir l'usine ici de Sportful, tous les détails donc sur la fabrication de ces nouvelles combinaisons et dont celle de Julian Alaphilippe que vous allez découvrir dans quelques minutes dans cette vidéo, vous allez pouvoir les retrouver. Nous sommes avec Frederico Mele. Bonjour Frederico, merci de nous accueillir dans l'usine de Sportful à la maison mère.
Thank you so much, Sylvain. Welcome to Le Cycle in the Manifattura Valcismon, home of the Sportful brand. Today we will have a short company tour to see all the processes to make cycling jerseys and to discuss about our fantastic collaboration together with the Tudor Pro Cycling team. Manifattura Valcismon was born in 1946 and it's the home of Sportful. Sportful was born in 1972. Before, Manifattura Valcismon was a wool manufacturing company. In that image, there is the first generation and the second generation. Olindo and Dirma Cremonese, the founder of Manifattura Valcismon, 1946. Giordano Cremonese, in the middle, the son, founder of Sportful. Today the company is a family business with an equity fund inside. It's the history that is being transmitted from generation to generation, and it's the strong point of the company.
Alors là, Frederico, on est dans la partie confection, ici, à Fonsazo.
As you can see here, there is the first part of the production process. Inside this room, usually we produce all the samples and all the special projects like
Tudor.
Like Tudor, like World Champion jerseys, pink jersey for Giro d'Italia and so on. It's an important room for us because it's the heart of the company, and it's as you can see, it's the part in which we measure all the production processes that then we are able to transmit to all our laboratories around Europe. Here is the first, let me say, very first production bunch, and starting from here we are able to set all the standards to do an efficient and effective production all over the world. In terms of number, there are several prototypes going out from here, but it's not a matter of quantity, but a matter of quality. We prefer to make a jersey again and again to refine the quality rather than having one single sample and going out with a, let me say, wrong jersey. So here is the quality point of the company.
Alors ici on est dans le bureau, donc dans le custom team, c'est là que sont faites toutes les tenues spécifiques, soit pour les équipes, pour les clubs également, ou également pour la collection Sportful qui sera présente dans le commerce. Alors voilà, on a vu la partie custom, on a vu là où était créé le design des maillots. Maintenant, on va passer sur la partie impression. On voit ici ces imprimantes. Alors Frederico, comment ça se passe ici dans cette partie qui est peut-être la plus importante, l'une des plus importantes étapes pour créer un maillot?
For sure, this is a really important part. We have seen the designing of the jersey, but here in the printing of the graphics, there is the first step in checking the colors and in checking the, let me say, dimension of the graphics. This is an important room because it's the brain of the company, in which we have this important machine, very big printing machine, and this is the standard for all the laboratories outside the company. As you can hear, this is a special room with a certain rate of humidity fixed, and here you can find, if you want, there is 25 degrees. The colors are at 49%, and the printings is at, say, 68%. So 70%, at 100% this printing is done, and we can start with another printing. We are able to print more or less 64 meters per hour. So in 1 hour you can print 64 jerseys.
Cette partie, c'est un maillot. This one is one jersey. Okay.
This is the model. So Tudor Supernova jersey, size XL.
Okay.
Is the jersey dedicated to Fabian Cancellara.
Okay.
I will bring this jersey to Fabian Cancellara on Friday, and later today these printings will be sublimated on the fabric and then assembled inside that room, and you will see later.
Donc là, il y a tout pour toute l'entreprise, toutes les marques, les 4 marques dont on a parlé. Il y a toutes les couleurs, tous les tissus, absolument tous les matériaux, les matières premières pour fabriquer les maillots, les tenues de ski, en fonction des marques ici à Fonsazo. Alors voilà, on a vu donc la partie impression, et là maintenant c'est la partie sublimation, c'est le transfert en fait entre l'impression qu'on a vue tout à l'heure et tout simplement le matériau, le maillot. Alors Frederico, combien de temps ça prend ici pour imprimer cette partie-là?
The process is a really fast process because if you think to one jersey, there is the printing machine for the fabrics, and it's more or less 1 minute of printings, but with a high level of degrees, more than 200 degrees. Okay. So it's really, really fast in terms of process, but it's an important process because you verify the colors on the fabrics. So this is let me say, one of the final steps to decide if the jerseys is well done or not well done in terms of colors.
Toute la partie de fabrication, peut-être à 99%, elle est manuelle.
If you speak about samples and special projects, yes, we can say that 90% of the production is manual. But producing a jersey is a matter of a manual working, even in the past. So nowadays, to have the quality, you have to check with your hands if the fabric is okay or not, if the color is okay or not. For sure, once we decided that the sample is okay, we have the economies of scale and the mass production. The mass production is done by the machines for sure, but it's important for us that the quality of the sample, so the standard, is verified by hands, by eyes, and has a high ratio of quality.
Alors on attaque la dernière partie ici, la couture, hein. Elle a bien le placement de tous les éléments que l'on a vus, imprimés, avec tous les éléments donc, qui ont été créés d'abord. Tout doit être parfait ici en partant d'Italie, et bien pour que la production de masse, pour à la fois la collection classique et à la fois bien, les maillots des équipes, bien, puisse être parfaite dans les différents lieux de production ici en Europe. Alors nous sommes ici donc dans l'atelier de confection de Sportful et nous allons voir comment ont été conçues bien, les combinaisons des coureurs de l'équipe suisse, de l'équipe Tudor Pro Cycling. Donc il faut savoir, on en a parlé, bien, qu'il y a plusieurs types de combinaisons en fonction si le coureur est un spécialiste du contre-la-montre, du sprint ou un coureur de classique. Ici sont conçues donc les combinaisons, on ajuste les derniers petits éléments et après cela part en production. Alors nous sommes avec Frederico Pallanch.
Ciao Julian.
Ciao. Vous êtes donc responsable produit ici chez Sportful et vous allez nous montrer bien, les petites subtilités, les petites choses techniques sur la combinaison d'un coureur que nous on connaît bien, c'est Julian Alaphilippe.
The technical point of this suit, because we really take care of each athlete and each needs of athlete, because performance is also giving the best product in terms of comfort to the athletes. And for example, Julian asked to have the lower waist, okay? To have a really lower waist to allow to breathe better, okay? Because really you want to have maximum breathability in terms of maximum flexibility in terms of breathability, okay? Not in terms of fabric, but in terms of really space to move his body. Another topic about this product, this is the normal road suit that we provide to all the athletes, okay? This is normal road suit, then we have a lighter version, okay, for the hotter days.
Pour l'été, oui.
Yeah. But both this one and the lighter version are made with a special polyester fabric. This one that is really stretchy, okay, to adapt better to the body of the racers, to the athletes, to Julian in this case, okay, and also the polyester is really dries fast, okay, have a super good sweat management, and that is really a key topic because when you're riding 6 hours, you are racing 6 hours, it's really important to have a product that keep pulling away the moisture all day long. Another key topic, every athletes, on special athletes, we position the radio pocket in different position because the needs...
Devant ici,
yeah,
la radio
la
devant.
Radio. But also this is the possibility to have in the back because some riders...
ici.
Some riders prefer to have in the front, some riders in the back. And also when we place the radio pocket, we take care of the safety of the athletes because it's not on the vital organs, but are on the structure of the body. Yeah. If they crash, for sure it's not so comfortable to have a radio there, but it's better to have it near the stomach or in other sensible parts for sure. All the athletes have the possibility to choose different chamois, okay? Depends of their needs because there are some athletes that prefer thicker chamois, athletes prefer smaller chamois. We have like 2-3 different chamois that that they can choose really. All the fabric used on this suits are very elastic to allow really the freedom of movement, because one of key topic is to be really free to pedal all day long, all the race long. That is really a key point. Also, in terms of pockets, they have 3 pockets in the back, like always, but with the right height to contain both the number above and also the food, bars, gels, and so on. Also, the pockets are made with the same fabric of the upper part of the body. Is really stretchable, can really contain for the worst days on the saddle, the longest day on the saddle, can be really a lot of food. For sure, they have the supply car, okay, but when needed, there is the possibility to put more bars and more gels on the food pockets.
Donc, par exemple, pour Julian Alaphilippe, alors là, elle est vraiment sur mesure, la combinaison. On voit que c'est une XS, on voit les liserés de champion du monde. Là, elle est vraiment très spécifique, c'est-à-dire elle est taillée vraiment aux côtes de Julian.
It's the perfect type. For example, the length of the legs is different to other racers, to other athletes. The length of the body is completely different to other athletes. It really is tailor-made for Julian. It's really a specific product for Julian. It's really, yeah.
It's costume.
Yeah, really custom product, really tailor-made, you know. Like a fashion suit, all the details, also all the length of the arms, all the length of the body, all the length of the legs are really custom made just for Julian. We've been able for Julian to make him ride on the suit, because usually he don't want to ride on the suit, but as a team policy with David, we pushed that all the riders have to wear the suit for racing, because when we speak about aerodynamics, the suit is a product aerodynamic, not jersey and bib. We really focus to have the right product for racing, and the right product for racing is for sure the suit.
Alors, quelles sont les contraintes justement par rapport à l'UCI, des contraintes réglementaires pour une combinaison comme celle-là?
There is, in the past with Sky, they did the small balls that was thicker than. This is a rule that you cannot pass by. The thickness has to be really really small, okay, really small thickness, really thin, because if not, affect the aerodynamics of the suit, but we can still work on 3D structure, but the important has to be really thin structure.
Yeah. Il y a de la 3D versus 3D?
This is 3D, yes, because you see there is really a small thickness differences between the normal part and the striped part. That allows to improve the airflow, okay, not in terms of breathability, but in terms of aerodynamics. Is really helping the air go through the body smoother, okay, and this small 3D part is really changing how the airs flow and how really the athlete can go faster, okay, or go at the same speed with less watt, for sure.
Donc en fait, pour Julian Alaphilippe, il va avoir plusieurs combinaisons, une pour le contre-la-montre, une normale, alors qu'un Stephen Cook, par exemple, va avoir une spéciale pour le contre-la-montre et une autre normale, alors qu'un sprinter aura encore une autre combinaison.
Yeah, we selected special riders that have different kind of suits. Because for the normal rooster we have a normal suit, a lighter suit, and then a TT suit, okay? That all the team have those kind of products. Then for selected riders, like around 10 people, 10 athletes, with different segmentation, because we have, for example, Stefan Kung, that we are developing different TT suit for him. And then we have, for example, Arvid Decline with other special suit, Matisse rondelle with other special suit. In total, we have different segmentation, as I told you. For example, TT suit special, sprint suit special, or for the classic race special suit. Really focused on the athlete and also on the type of the race. Because all those special products are not developed with the size range, are developed 3D scanning the athletes and really is made fitted to the athlete, not just measuring the athlete, but really 3D scanning the athletes. It's a key topic.
Merci Frederico. Alors maintenant, on va passer à des détails encore plus techniques. On va passer vraiment sur des chiffres, sur de la data, ce dont on parle énormément aujourd'hui dans le cyclisme professionnel. On va parler de soufflerie. Merci beaucoup Frederico. À bientôt.
Merci. Sylvain.
Merci.
Merci.
Alors maintenant, on va parler data avec David Ogg. Bonjour David.
Bonjour.
Vous êtes l'ingénieur textile chez Tudor Pro. Alors, il faut savoir que cette combinaison, elle a été développée également pour gagner des watts et donc gagner du temps en fonction de la spécialité de chaque coureur, que ce soit pour le contre-la-montre, le sprint ou les classiques par exemple. On l'a dit, il y a à peu près 4-5 combinaisons différentes en fonction des coureurs de l'équipe Tudor.
So the aero drag is the biggest force the rider's got to overcome. It can be up to 90% of their effort is to just pushing the air out of the way. So, that's them. And so what we can do as engineers, we can look at what they're covered in to try and manipulate that airflow. So the first thing we do is we look at the fabrics. Person can be kind of essentially cylinders. So your arm can be like a 100 diameter cylinder. Like legs are kind of 200 and your torso is kind of 300. And what we do to start with, the first step is just to find lots of fabrics and test them in a small tunnel, just on cylinders, to try and simulate, say, an arm or a leg. And what we can do is we can look at the airflow over these and see what region they're good at. We look at something called Reynolds number. So this takes into account the speed, the kind of atmospheric conditions, and also the size of the objects. And what we can see is the region of where this particular fabric works best. So say this is particularly good at general road speeds. So it's good. If you had a smooth fabric, that would be very poor. And the other thing to note is that it's so specific to the conditions of the race. So say the optimal fabric for a sprinter will be almost completely different to say a general road speed or even a classics or a TT. So the smart thing we do is we characterise the fabrics, and then after we characterise them, we can then kind of construct a suit out of these. So say we find our top 10 leg fabrics, we try them on the legs, our top 10 arms, which are good fabrics, and test them on the arms. And this is what we do in the large wind tunnel with our array of mannequins. And we basically have lots of suits made by Sportful. We try them on and essentially see where they're good at. But again, they're very specific, like the main ones are sprint, classic and TT.
Alors combien de watts on peut gagner entre cette combinaison et une combinaison dite normale? Quel rendement on peut avoir?
Well, I'm not going to go into specifics because it's kind of a trade secret, but for sure the performance of like super engineered suit versus even just one with aerodynamic off-the-shelf fabric can be 5-10%. Yeah, it can be, and this is why Tudor Pro Cycling have kind of invested in the partnership with Sportful, is because it is so important. Like some of the gains we find, like kind of outweigh it as much as a rider will just get through normal training throughout the year. So.
Donc vous l'avez testé dans une soufflerie, à la fois sur un mannequin et sur un vrai cycliste. Combien d'heures est-ce que cela a pris?
Many hours. Again, we're not going to say how many specific hours, but definitely compared to what I've seen other teams have invested in the wind tunnel, we have kind of almost by far the most investment. Because a lot of this stuff where we're dealing with the airflow of a fabric, it's really hard to simulate in a computer or through CFD. you have to do it experimentally in a wind tunnel. And we do it kind of in 3 levels. We do it in the wind tunnel, on the bullet, with the mannequin, in the wind tunnel also with the rider, and then also on track, and then in the real world, like on the road.
Alors, quel a été le retour des athlètes, le retour des coureurs quand ils ont commencé à tester ces nouveaux éléments?
So the feedback has been really positive, particularly I think the riders they're recruited to be within the Tudor Pro cycling's mentality about performance, and particularly the custom sizing, they really find that's a real benefit on the comfort throughout the race. Often they've had maybe essentially everyone's different, even asymmetric, and this is where when we do our custom sizes, we take these asymmetries into account, and obviously not everyone's different. So when we do these custom suits, often the feedback is, usually it's I find it's like tight with the chamois, or it pulls on the shoulder, but now it almost feels loose. Like no, but again, the loose is part of the aerodynamic advantage as well. Is that we're not overstretching the fabrics to get a really tight fit, because we can make them the correct shape while having to rely on the stretch to give us a wrinkle-free suit.
Là, en termes d'aérodynamisme, alors les gains sur une combinaison comme celle-là, ça va être les épaules, les bras, en dessous des bras peut-être, ou cette partie-là du corps, et après ça va être le confort.
Definitely anything leading edge is usually super important. So your arms, the wind hit first.
Even here.
Yeah, but also legs. But the arms, especially in TT, can be, from an engineering point of view, relatively straightforward because they're pretty static in terms of their position. But you think of legs, actually the angle of them moves as well, and so it makes it much harder to discover the optimal fabric for the legs. So, again, this is where the clever bit is to try and find the best balance of both, or have enough more understanding. So.
Il y a encore des modifications à l'heure actuelle en mars où la combinaison est définitive?
Almost every product we make is almost a prototype. So okay, we have a new suit, but we don't stop development. The development still continues. So it's never finished. Yeah, this is the advantage of having Tudor Pro cycling having their own kind of in-house expertise on this, is that we don't you can keep the momentum going and the development, and do lots of aerodynamic testing rather than doing one suit for the season and then ciao. It's a continual development, and it's kind of, again, it's for the long term. So.
Alors, on parle beaucoup des professionnels et évidemment après on sait que le matériel va venir chez les amateurs. Dans combien de temps, alors peut-être pas pour le sur-mesure, mais dans combien de temps des coureurs amateurs pourront rouler avec ce type de technologie?
All our products are very specific to the professional and the professional speeds. So, and again, if we do a product for the general consumer, then we would look to make it actually more appropriate to kind of their speeds they're going at and their conditions they'll be looking at.
Alors, il est toujours compliqué de parler d'argent, enfin de prix pour des éléments aussi spécifiques que cela, mais ça coûte combien à peu près une combinaison comme celle-là?
The price is 8,000 euros, but this isn't just when you think about the cost of it. It's not just the cost of the fabrics, even though these are some of the high-end, most expensive fabrics in the sports market. It's actually all the R&D, and this is where the majority of the cost is. It's the people, the wind tunnel, the mannequins. We have a project with Alaphilippe University investigating fabrics for aerodynamics, specifically for the team. Sometimes people think of the cost of just making it. This is almost the smallest part. Actually, the development is actually a huge part of the cost, and because we're going to such depth, have our own mannequins, doing lots of wind tunnel testing, having our own PhD program. This is why it is so expensive. But this is what you've got to do to make the fastest suit in the pro peloton.
Alors on parle beaucoup d'aérodynamisme pour les vélos, pour les casques et maintenant pour les vêtements. Est-ce que c'est quelque chose qui est encore, où il y a encore beaucoup à faire par rapport aux autres éléments du cycliste?
Yeah, absolutely. There's so much to do in terms of the clothing, because essentially a person generally as an object is pretty awful in terms of aerodynamics. You've got lots of cylinders which are renowned for being very poor aerodynamically, and also the fluid mechanics. We're talking about the manipulating this tiny slew of air next to the body. I'm trying to manipulate that with fabric, which stretches. Which, the more stretchy, you can change the texture of it. So there's relatively small amount of research generally in this kind of area because it's so niche. And I think we're really at the start of the journey. I think particularly British cycling and other Olympic or teams of nations that compete at the Olympics have really set the foundations. But now I think in the pro peloton we're starting to invest because the gains can be pretty huge.
Alors voilà, vous savez tout donc sur le développement de cette nouvelle combinaison, ici celle de Julian Alaphilippe. Une combinaison donc très technique, on a énormément gagné sur le plan de l'aérodynamisme évidemment, ce sont des pièces uniques, on les a vues donc depuis le début de saison et le projet va continuer tout au long de la saison avec Tudor Cycling Team. Merci beaucoup David pour toutes ces précisions techniques, c'était très intéressant, très enrichissant. Bon courage pour cette saison 2026. Merci.
Merci.
Voilà, nous quittons Sportful et l'Italie. J'espère que cette vidéo vous a plu. N'oubliez pas de vous abonner à notre chaîne YouTube. Merci, à bientôt.